special moment. Thankful that my mother could be here with us to witness this evening. I just want to share that we can only say what we feel. And so when I mentioned that we need to candle out this building, so they were open to that. Many of the staff came out to be part of it yesterday. Reason why I thought of that, and many of us do in the community, is that at one time this building was the Indian Affairs office, used to be right here. The health nurses used to be right up here. And so I experienced this building of what it was before. And sometimes I go back to that because it's not a good feeling. I remember that as a little child going up those stairs. I remember that the skin being scrubbed. I remember that with the powder being thrown on you to clean you up. I remember that. I was a little child. So my thought here to this building was always over there. But I come here with that change. There is that hope. I come here with that change. I watched all of our families go around and open that way. Open the way for all of those who are going to come together. I see it now when I'm going around. This is a rich place. You have much history here that so many of us out there don't even know it exists. There is a place that we can make that change. Wasn't that long ago in my dad's time, and chief and council at Indian Affairs here used to write out that agenda with chief and council are going to talk about. We really had no choice. Let us begin that day of opening up your home here. Let's begin that. It can only begin with you and I. Let us all create that agenda together. My mother always reminds all of us here, even the chief, the Chitsawato. She echoes that out every time. Help one another. What is that going to feel like to help one another? Does that get us anywhere by pointing fingers or saying those harsh words to one another, the way my sister put it with that feather? Seen many times that feather being ruffled, but when all of us come together, we can fix it all up to its true beauty of what it really is and what it stands for. So is it that word that you can echo out within yourselves? Tutsi-tsawato. Help one another. Is that hard to do? I don't believe so. When so many can come together with that. There is that richness of this town called Duncan. There is a strong history, powerful history that goes along with this home. Thankful our ex-former mayors could be here today. Many of you. What does that mean? And what is that thought of saying, let's that word kashinto? What does that mean? It means let's walk together. What's wrong with having a cup of tea together? Powerful place to be in, the Cowichan Valley. It's our home. How do we want to make our home? The teaching ones that go in through this building, that our people, they believe and they echo out all the time, our elders. There is a big imaginary spike outside that door. Leave all your ill feelings out there. Only come in here with a good, strong feeling of where we want to go and how we can do together. Thank you. Thank you. We say Heichka. Thank you, Heichka.
Thank you, Tusilam. Thank you, elders. And I'm very thankful myself for being able to participate in a small part yesterday, doing what we can, each and every one of us. Would like to acknowledge that we are gathered here on the traditional unceded territory of the Cowichan people. And next I'd like to introduce and invite Elizabeth Robinow of Ridgway and Company, barrister and solicitor, who's also the president of the, or chair of the Cowichan Valley Bar Association, to come forth and administer the oaths of office. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that introduction. So to get started with the oaths of office, I'd like the mayor-elect, Michelle Staples. So mayor-elect, would you like to read your oath yourself, or would you like to repeat after me? Okay. I, Michelle Patricia Staples, do solemnly affirm that
I, Michelle Patricia Staples, do solemnly affirm that
I am qualified to hold the office of mayor for the city of Duncan, to which I have been elected.
I am qualified to hold the office for the city of Duncan, to which I've been elected.
I have not, by myself or any other person, knowingly contravened the Local Government Act.
I have not, by myself or with any other person, knowingly convened the Local Government Act,
respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office.
respecting vote buying or intimidation with the election to my office.
I will faithfully perform the duties of my office and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters.
I will faithfully perform the duties of my office and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters.
As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interest I have.
As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interests I have
in a matter and will not participate in the discussion of the matter and will not vote in respect of the matter.
in a matter and will not participate in the discussion of the matter and will not vote in respect of the matter.
Thank you. I'll ask that you sign. Thank you very much, Mayor Staples. And now to proceed to the city councillors, I'd like to take your oaths in collectively, if that's all right. Can I ask that you all stand? So you're going to repeat after me again. Oh, please do. And you are Gary Bruce. I'll give you yours. Everyone has one. Oh, go ahead. Anybody else want to? You just, okay. So I, City Councillor, do solemnly affirm that I am qualified to hold the office of Councillor for the City of Duncan to which I have been elected. I have not, by myself or any other person, knowingly contravened the Local Government Act, respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of my office and will not allow any private interests to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the Community Charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interest I have in a matter and will not participate in the discussion of the matter and will not vote in respect of the matter. Thank you very much. I'll have you come up and sign. On the top is Thomas McCrone. Thank you. Robert James Brooke. Thank you. Thank you. Jennifer Elizabeth Capps. Gary Gilmer Bruce. Thank you all very much. Mayor, you don't have to stand, it's okay. Councillors and honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to address the council in this inaugural meeting. The inaugural council meeting presents the opportunity for the council members, both old and new, to dedicate themselves to their public duty, to acknowledge their obligations and commitment. Tonight, the City of Duncan is congratulating and welcoming 5 new councillors. Bob Brooke, Gary Bruce, Jenny Capps, Stacy Middlemiss. Oh, sorry, that one worked better. Can you all hear me now? Oh, wow, yeah, okay. And Carol Newington, who unfortunately is unable to be with us tonight. We are also applauding and welcoming back Councillor Tom Duncan, and of course, the city's first female mayor, Michelle Staples. Tonight also allows the public to express their appreciation and recognition for the commitment made by each council member. Being on City Council carries responsibilities and duties that are both social and moral in nature, as well as statutory, as set out in the Local Government Act. When elected, the mayor and councillors make an oath to uphold these duties, to act fairly, and to avoid all conflicts with issues in which they have a personal interest. This simple ceremony serves to charge the council with those duties and obligations. The residents of this community have placed their faith in the new council and expect them to carry out their promises and duties over the next 4 years. It is also time to recognize the contributions the mayor and councillors will make and to convey our respect and appreciation. Everyone who takes on the mantle of public office is deserving of our respect and admiration for taking on the public's work, often a somewhat thankless task. To the re-elected council members, we appreciate your dedication to seeing this city develop and prosper. To the newly elected council members, we appreciate your call to duty and public service. It takes courage and commitment to put your name on a ballot. By sacrificing personal time, we also recognize and understand that your family is sacrificing their time with you and you with them. Your family's support and understanding are critical to your ability to serve as mayor and council. We appreciate your patience and dedication to the job at hand, the long hours, the sensitivity and compassion in dealing with difficult situations, and in representing the city to others outside of the Cowichan Valley. Mayor Staples, we wish to thank you and the council in advance for all of your hard work and dedication during the next 4 years, and for your strong loyalty to our city and your dedication to seeing it prosper. Thank you.
So thank you very much for that. We appreciate you coming here to support us in that way. And I just would like to take a moment to just thank everyone for coming out today. I'd like to thank Amita and Peter for opening with a prayer in such a beautiful way. And I'd like to thank Tusilim and Ed and Robert for drumming for us, and everyone who came out yesterday from staff and from council to demonstrate a new way forward. I'd like to take a moment to honor some of the people that are in the room. Chief Seymour, welcome. It's wonderful to have you here. Phil Kent, up until 2 minutes ago, I've called you mayor right up until the bitter end. Mayor Mike Coleman, thank you for coming. Glenn Mackey, Freeman of the City. Where are you, Glenn? Is he here somewhere? In the back? John Lefebvre, thank you for being here tonight. I'm not sure if Al Sebring is somewhere in the back. Is he back there? Where is he? Hello, Al, welcome. You'll be mayor, I guess, tomorrow night, is that right? Or Wednesday night? Jeff Maxwell, a former councillor. Jeff, there you are. Welcome. And Stuart Pagodon from Cowichan Tribes Council. And I'm sorry if I'm missing anyone, but welcome all of you. I see 2 new members of North Cowichan Council, Kate Marsh, returning in council, and Rosalie Sari as well in the back. So thank you all for coming. I wish that we had the time tonight to thank every single one of you individually. Thank you, Violet, for being here. It's such an honor to have you with us. And so one of the things that when I first came into the office last week after the election, I was presented with an opportunity to wear something that has been hanging in the closet since approximately 1973, when I was barely old enough to pick it up, let alone dress up in it. this is a robe that was worn in the first time in 1956 by Jack Dobson, and it's a mayor's robe. And we live in different times, but we learn from the past and from where we came from. And so we wanted to make sure that this robe was put in a place where it could be remembered. Remembered for the times that it came from. Remember for the people who wore it. For the people who walked this path and these shoes before us today. And it doesn't do that hanging in our basement closet. And as with everything, it has stories to tell and stories to share. And we don't want those stories to be forgotten. We want this to reside in a place where they'll forever be told. And with that, I'd like to invite Tony Irwin from the Cowichan Valley Museum and Archives to take care of this for the city, to help us remember and to share its story to other people in the future. So Tony, if you could come up. And with that, if we can have council take our seats, move to our seats on the desk. So welcome to our new city council. And with that, I would like to call the inaugural meeting to order. So the first thing I need is approval of the agenda, that the November 5th, 2018 agenda for the inaugural meeting be adopted as circulated. Second? Anyone want to discuss what's on the agenda tonight in case you want to add anything or... No? Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. New business. 3.1, that the Cowichan Valley Regional District external appointment, that Council appoint Mayor Michelle Staples and Councillor Tom Duncan as an alternate to the Cowichan Valley Regional District Board. Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Appointment of acting mayor for 2018, that council appoint Councillor Tom Duncan as acting mayor from November to December 2018. Moved and seconded, okay. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. That is officially the fastest council meeting we will ever have. Thank you for bearing with us. Next, this may not be as quick though. We have the inaugural address. And so I'd like to start with Councillor Bruce with your address.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Worship and new council, and thank you all for being here. Old council members, past mayors, I won't say old mayors, I'll say past mayors, and welcome everybody to our city council chambers. This is brand new for me, and I'm a little bit nervous, and it's so nice to be able to represent the city of Duncan people that voted for me. Thank you. I'm sure that all of you voted for me, right? At any rate, also, Chief Seymour, it's good to see you. It's been a long time. The last time that we were together, it was after the game. I think we lost to the Gorge or something. And you were playing fullback. I was right half. We've had good years together. That was fun. Do you remember? playing for the Village Green. We started off in the Victoria 3rd Division. We ended up getting that team up into the Victoria 1st Division. It was good fun. And we spent time together after the games, too. I won't tell you where and doing what. That was good fun, was it not? Good to see you. Thank you. I'd like to say for me, this last month or whatever it's been has been a huge learning curve. Well, it's hard on me, and I decided to run. That was tough. I wanted to participate in this process. I'm looking very forward to it. And then the learning curve continued when you get out on the street, and I door knocked, and I went to different areas of the city and door knocked, and I would say for probably 75 or 80%, it was pretty good. 25% wasn't as good. But it was fun. It was fun to hear the concerns of the different areas of the city. I found the different areas of the city, as small as we are actually, but nevertheless the different areas have different concerns. And I'm still getting my feet wet and all that. But I would like to just say that the learning curve will continue. We went to school, all of us here, us newbies, and actually the experienced people came too. We had classes right in there, and I had major headaches after that. It was volumes of stuff that we have to go through, and apparently Peter says we have to memorize it all. Is that right, Peter? So thank you, Peter. And the new council is exciting, and they're all in front of you here now, as we are. Carol Newington is missing. She is my neighbor on Vista Avenue, and she's in Southeast Asia having a holiday. And she's missing, but nevertheless, we're all for that. We're all here. And I think we have except for me, a wonderful group of young people. And that's very, very, very good to see. I'm so pleased. And further to this, I know I only got 2 minutes, but thank you for your support. And it's quite a process to go through this. On the serious side of things, the Provincial Elections Act, whatever that is, you say, I found out in a hurry, and there's a protocol. It's good. Everybody goes through the same thing. Everybody does the same procedure. Money-wise, the whole thing is all exactly the same for everybody. It's so new to me. I ran my old business for so many years. I didn't have to answer to anybody, and now you have things like the Provincial Elections Act. It's quite different. And so just to finish, I would like to say, seriously, because of my, I'm going to say my age, how long do you have to sit here before you get a pension? Thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming. I just want to acknowledge how special it is to have all the elders here tonight, and how meaningful yesterday was walking through the building with you. I see that as a really great first step, so thank you. I'm Stacey Middlemas. I am very honored to be representing the city of Duncan. I honestly can never say that I thought I would be a politician one day. That was definitely not something that I aspired to be, but now that I'm here, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I have a variety of jobs in the community with a background in psych nursing. And the one thing that all of those jobs, including this one, have in common are that I'm an advocate. And I've never been afraid to stand up or speak out for what I believe in. And being able to do that for other people who feel like they don't have a loud enough voice has been a real passion for me. So I look forward to being able to do that here as well. I have 2 daughters who are both here tonight. And, you know, it's important for me to be a role model of a strong female and to show them that whatever you put your mind to, you can do. I get joked around a lot that I have a lot of jobs and I'm a busy person, but you make time for things that you're passionate about. So yeah, it's very important for me and for my daughters today to see me here and for also to be here with the first female mayor. That's something very special. So I look forward to working with this council, with my elders. And
we're off to a bad start.
With this, the staff here at City Hall, and with all of the community members. And so I just want to thank people that, you know, voted for me, and I appreciate that, and I look forward to working with you all. Thanks.
Thank you all for coming tonight, and I especially want to thank Dusalem and the group for yesterday. I really feel that this is a fresh start for us here in the building, and also it's a fresh start with the new group that we have. I'm really happy with the age range, Gary. Very young to very old, and I'm also looking forward to helping get the new members up to speed. You know, you pretty well have to hit the ground running here. I've been on council now for 3 terms, and this is my 4th term. I'm looking forward to carrying on some of the work that I've done and also passing on some of the knowledge that I have. I appreciate all the support I received from the community, and I'm looking forward to working hard for the next 4 years and getting some things done that we heard were problems when we were knocking on doors. So thank you all again, and thank you for coming.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, is it on? It's on. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all so very much for coming. I'd like to also thank the elders for opening with the prayer. And I would like to thank everyone that came out yesterday as well and came through the building with us. That was one of the most meaningful experiences of my life, and I think the best first step that we could have taken together with staff, council, with you as well. I'd also like to extend a heartfelt thanks to the outgoing mayor and the outgoing council members. I have the utmost respect for each of you, and I would like to thank you for your commitment and service, some of you for decades, so thank you very much. Tonight's meeting is a historic one, as we've celebrated many times already. Sitting here next to the first female mayor in the history of the city of Duncan is incredible. I couldn't be more honored to be a part of this councillor led by such a strong, integral leader. And as I look around at the different perspectives and experiences around the table, I couldn't feel more heartened and optimistic about what I think we're going to accomplish together. With an incredibly dedicated and skillful staff, I believe we're truly poised for success. I know I have a lot to learn. We've started learning already. I kind of feel like I've been accepted to the coolest university ever. I really can't wait to get started on the work, and I'm very honored to have been selected to work for you. So thank you very much.
Good evening. Good evening, and thank you all for being here tonight. I'm both humbled and honored to be sitting here tonight. Humbled because I recognize the responsibility that this position entails, and honored because you chose me to do this. In speaking with the people before the election, I expressed my sincere beliefs that fiscal responsibility and common sense solutions would be the cornerstone of my efforts, and I believe that these simple goals resonated with everyone I spoke with. I'm going to endeavor to follow those simple beliefs throughout my term here. I've always considered elected officials to be servants of the people, and with that mindset, I will always act in the best interests of the people. I would like to thank Gary for lumping me in with the young people. And again, I would like to thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you.
I've got just a short piece here from Carol Newington, and she writes, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all those who supported me during the election campaign. It's a huge honor to work for the citizens of Duncan. I am humbled that you would place your faith and trust in me. This is a responsibility that I do not take lightly and will endeavor to do my best to represent you with the utmost transparency and faithfulness. Duncan's a wonderful city, and I look to working with all those on council to continue the work the former council has started. I feel that this is important to work closely with First Nations, North Cowichan, CVRD, and VIHA to find solutions for both the housing and opioid crisis that we, like other communities, are facing. These problems are not just one jurisdiction, and the need for common solutions is a must. Once again, thank you for your faith in me. Sincerely, Carol Newington.
Thank you. I feel like everything that I was going to say is now being said by everyone around the table, which is, I'm pretty sure, is how it's supposed to work. And I think that it's reflective of the team that we have here. I know we were told the other day not to use the word team, but I need to still work on that. Part of what I like about that word is that teams do a lot of different things together. You know, they compete with each other. They compete with themselves to be better. And they also work together because that's the only thing that makes it work. And they work towards a common goal. And that's the one thing that I've recognized already just in our very short time together, that although we have a tremendous amount of differences, that is going to give us a very strong foundation to move forward on. And I am so honored to be here with all of you today. So thank you. One of the things that has been referred to a number of times was what we went through yesterday, preparing this building. When I learned from someone not that long ago that when you go in and ask someone from any First Nation to be involved in something, that you don't go and ask, can you do this for me? You go and ask, how would you like this done? And when we went and asked that question, the answer was to start with the building, to recognize what has happened here before so that we can start fresh in a good way. Because you can't move forward without acknowledging the past and without answering to the call that the past is asking of you. So I would like to thank everyone again. Thank you, Dorothy, for leading us through that. Thank you, Deb, and to Selim and all the staff and council who came out. And I feel like we've started in the best way possible towards working to what Selim said the other day at a reconciliation event is actually living reconciliation. That it's not just a word that you say or something that you say to recognize where you are. It's important so that we remember that. But it's also moving forward with that every single day. It's being uncomfortable. It's doing things that don't make sense to you and just being okay with that and trying to not make them make sense to you, but accepting that they're a part of what's necessary to do. And with each step that we take towards that, we also learn and grow as people. And so our relationships become real. When I look over here, I see my family now. I see people that over many, many years, we've walked down so many different roads. We've walked through so many different mountains. And it hasn't always been easy, and I don't expect it to be as we move forward always. There's a lot of things happening in our communities, and there's a lot of things that we need to change, and we need to change the way that we move together. And so this council, I just want to say again, thank you for being willing to be open to this. I feel that we have such an opportunity here to really learn from the leaders of this territory. And so I look forward to doing that with you over the next 4 years, and all of you and others as well. and Chief Seymour, and Councillor Pagadwan up there in the corner. So thank you. I'd like to recognize the committees of people who volunteer their time. There's committee members here who spend hours working together on issues at the city, but also working together to make the city better. And they give their time to us, and that means something. One of my favorite new committees that I got to sit on was the Advisory Design Panel. And it changed the way that I saw design and community. It changed the way that our council was able to interact and work better with developers. Because we have people sitting with us that are experts. We have people sitting with us that can answer the questions that we don't have answers to, because we don't know everything. And we need to always remember that, and to reach out to the community members who do understand things in a different way. And from that, we can all learn together. I'd like to also thank the fire hall. Everyone here from the fire hall, the fire people. Leanne's here. I'd like to thank you all. There's been so many times that I've heard stories from the people in our community when we're at the door, but even just living here and being here all the time, with how much you give to this community. And you see the things that none of us want to see. And we're so grateful that you have what it takes, the courage and the dedication to go out there and take care of those things for us. Take care of those things for people when they're hurt. I was at an accident a number of years ago that was very serious right after it happened. And to see all of you come together the way that you did to take care of people in need, it made me cry for what had happened to the people, but also just for the dedication that I don't think that I was aware enough of until that moment. And so I'd like to thank you for everything that you do for this city and for all of the people here, and for Cowichan tribes as well. I know you service those areas. And Public Works, I know a couple of you are on fire at the fire hall and in Public Works. I have never learned as much about water than I did from Kevin at Public Works, who took me out on, and one thing that we're all going to do as a council is go back out on a tour of the Public Works yard and all of the wells and all of the different places that Public Works deals with. That, and again, those are things that we don't know unless we go out and see what you're doing and how you're doing it. And to hear someone's extreme passion for water systems, for wells, for in a way that I don't hear the same things from the Watershed Board when I go to their meetings. It's spoken in a different way, and no less passionate, but just in a different way. And I'd like to thank the Public Works Yard for everything that you do. You're oftentimes the people come up to you, and I see it all the time when you're out there doing something, and talk to you and connect with you, and they love all of you, and the commissioners too. They love all of the commissioners as well. So many people. I know that Dorothy and Stu exchange coffee, and that everyone in those places makes us feel that sense of belonging here, that sense that we're all connected and that we're all together. And it's those relationships that you all have with people that make the difference and make the city what it is. And I see those relationships growing stronger all the time. For the staff, sorry, I'm still getting used to these glasses. It's very annoying having to wear them now. For the staff, from whether it's administration, management, staff, you know, you all have one thing in common, and you love what you do. You may not like it every day or every job that you do, but you all show up and you shine here. And again, you know, when people come into City Hall, we get comments when I was out campaigning, and I'm sure all of you heard it too. We get comments about how friendly the staff are and how engaged they are. And I feel it when I come here. And I just want to express my gratitude and our gratitude for all of the work that you do, because ultimately we drive you crazy most of the time. and you still make us look good. So thank you for that. I was really excited when I saw the list of council members come together, because what I saw was a very diverse group, both in age, as has been mentioned many times, and I'm sure will be the butt of many jokes. And I'll have to tell you, it's because Gary starts this whole thing about his age. He's the one that makes the most digs about it, and it's hard not to just go along with it. Yeah, you're welcome. Tom brings the knowledge and history and his love of arts and his love of this community. He's had how many terms on council now? 4 terms on council. So that makes him the most senior of all of us. So Gary, Tom's actually your senior now. And Stacy brings this whole different way of looking at the world with such compassion for the most vulnerable people in our community, and really dedicates herself to that work and to bringing forward stories so that help us understand who people are everywhere. Gary, I've known you for 26 years. We've had a lot of times at the dinner table. I used to be married to one of Gary's best friend's sons, and we spent a lot of time talking politics. Never thought we'd talk about it here, but here we are today. And so I know that we can get through anything, because we've had those tables and duked it out there, so I feel like we're good. And we know that we come from 2 different ways of viewing the world a lot of times, and that through that there's always a third way that we can find common ground on somewhere. You owned Bruce's Grocer. I remember when I first moved here, how important Bruce's Grocer was to people and to families, and how much it made us all part of our community. And Bob connects us with the development community. He understands a world that often seems foreign and strange to some of us. And I look forward to getting to know you. And I recognize this real strength and humor that you bring to this table. And also just a real serious wanting, I don't know if that's the right word, but to really serve. It was so wonderful to hear how much you just want to give back to this city and to the community. And Carol is off gallivanting across Asia for a month. And just like that trip, I think that really speaks to who Carol is, to someone who's adventurous and wants to explore and learn new things. And she's very, very happy and excited to be here. And Jenny, our former junior mayor, you bring not only a youth perspective, but maturity far beyond your years. And you have such strength in community safety, and seeing you grow over these years has just been a gift, and I'm so honored to sit at the table with you. And so this is us. Here we are together, and I look forward to what we can bring to the community. Because the community, this is the choice that you made, for better, for worse, for the next 4 years. We're here together to serve you. And that's something that I know that we'll be able to do to the best of our ability, because we'll all bring that forward. And you didn't vote for all of us, but I think you got a little bit of everything around this table. I feel that from all ends of the political spectrum are sitting here together. And as well as the age spectrum, we have it covered. And I feel like that's a really good place for us to begin. And you, community, decided who you were going to be this last term. You decided that you wanted to be Duncan. You decided that it was important to know who you are and know your identity. And then following that, you represented us to bring forward that identity and take it to a new place. Now that we can finally lay that conversation aside for at least another 20 years, if not longer. Duncan has said who we are now, and has made it clear that we know we have something special here. And so I look forward to this council really bringing that forward for you. And when we were at the door, as has been mentioned, you talked to us about a lot of things. one of the things that stood out more is that there's a lot of you that are really concerned about what's happening on our streets and in our neighborhoods. And there's people who are really, they're scared. And a lot of all the business stuff that we have to do, day-to-day things that we normally do, are being, in a sense, taken over by what's happened in the community. We heard business people talking to us about how 50% of their time is now spent dealing with homelessness, dealing with addiction, dealing with things that they're not used to having to see in our community. And so we're not going to be able to solve this at this table alone. This is something that we need to connect with organizations. I see James from CMHA is here, with other organizations, community, all of our community partners, to find a way forward. There are a lot of tables that are working on all of these things, and we can fully be present and become one of them, working together with everyone. Because until we deal with those things as a community, one woman told me at her doorstep that her and her husband had passed someone sleeping on a sidewalk, and they drove past and she asked him to stop because she wanted to check on him, and her husband said no. He said, "I'm sick of this." And she looked at him and she said, "When did we become those people? We have to turn around and go back." And so they did. And that's who Duncan is. That's who we are as a community. And together there are things that we can find to solve this. But like I said, we won't do this alone as a council or as a staff or as a city. This is going to take all of us. Because that homelessness, addiction, they don't know boundaries. Relationships, they don't know boundaries. And so this is something that we need to come together, to continue to come together. And I really trust that this council will do that and show up in a good way, because every single person here has made that part of their campaign and part of what they know needs to happen. Because it's hard to deal with anything else when people are dealing with crisis every day. When I asked kids at schools what it was that was important to them, they told me the same thing at the doors that all of the adults did. They talked about the things I was just speaking about. And then one young man said, "You know, one thing that I haven't heard anything about at all is about the environment and climate change." He said, you know, where does that on the list? And we talked about how those things that I was just speaking to, how hard it is to deal with those bigger issues when we have day-to-day things that we're all responding to and reacting to. And they asked me to remember that that is something that we had to make sure was taken care of for their future. And so as a council, we'll move forward to look at how we're going to do those things in our city and what that's going to look like. And so we have the perfect mix for the times that we're in. We have an incredible city, we have an incredible staff, we have strong foundations for us to move from, and we have a community that really wants to be communicated with. They really want us to connect with them. We're in a time when it's no longer just putting up a meeting and hoping that people will come. We have to reach out now. The community is ready for that. And that's something that I know we've all talked about wanting. We will make sure that that happens. We will make sure that all the things that we heard at the door when we're doing our planning, that we come back to you and say, this is what we heard, and this is what we're dedicated to doing for the next 4 years. Have we got it right? Or are there other things that we need to add? That's something that this council understands. And together that we can make those changes. We can find solutions that'll make us stronger. And we can hopefully, in the next 4 years, start making a past that's worth telling in the future. That the future generations will know that we were working with them in mind. They'll know that all of our decisions were because we were thinking of how their lives would be impacted in the future. And I want to leave you with a quote to close. And I have it in here, my handy little device. Earlier, it was mentioned, there was someone that mentioned hope. When Tusilam spoke, he talked about hope. One thing that I wasn't anticipating after, well, first of all, I wasn't anticipating winning the election. So let's start there. But I wasn't anticipating all of the people coming up to me and people talking to me and being so excited and being so hopeful. That wasn't something that I was anticipating. Seeing that hope when I went to a school on the Monday after I was elected, there was a group of kids. I was at this literacy reading, and I read to a group of kids at Coleman Elementary. And afterwards, there was a lineup of kids, because they had announced that I had just been elected the first female mayor. And these kids lined up, and they were mostly girls, about 20 of them, and they asked me for their autograph. And it was the most touching thing. And one of them asked me, she said, do you think I could be mayor one day? Like, is that a thing you could become? And I said, yeah. And I said, or you could become chief, or maybe you could become both. And one of the things that I heard from them was hope. One of the things that I hear from people that come up that are so excited about all of us is hope. And so I close with a quote about hope. Hope and optimism are different. Optimism tends to be based on the notion that there's enough evidence out there to believe that things are just going to get better. It's much more rational than hope is. Where hope looks at the evidence and says, it really doesn't look that good. This doesn't look good at all. But we're going to go beyond the evidence to create new possibilities based on visions that become contagious, that allow people to engage in heroic actions, always against the odds, with no guarantee whatsoever, and that's hope. Thank you. And now I'm going to call up the Elizabeth again.
Thank you, Mayor Staples. Would like to invite our 3 new fire captains. Sorry, there's 3 of you, right? Please, come on up. You guys can go here, and I'll slip back over here. So collectively, I'll take your oath of, I was about to say oath of office, but I guess it's oath of protection, maybe? Sorry? So I do solemnly promise and declare that good job. Oh, yeah, come and read. I want you all to say it together. Should we start again? I do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially, to the best of my knowledge and ability, execute the office of Captain of the Duncan Volunteer Fire Department, to which I have been appointed for the Corporation of the City of Duncan, and that I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise of such for the exercise of any partiality or promise of such
for the exercise of any partiality.
Good job. Or corrupt behavior or other undue execution of the said office. Great job, gentlemen. Carrie Adams. Thank you. Gordon Wickerink. And Christopher Irving. So it is also time to recognize the Wait, sorry, I was reading the wrong part. I am honored to also address the swearing in of the 3 new Duncan Volunteer Fire Department captains at this inaugural council meeting. This meeting presents the opportunity to also recognize the City of Duncan Volunteer Fire Department and dedicate themselves to their public duty and acknowledge their obligations and commitments. Tonight, the City of Duncan is congratulating and welcoming the appointment of 3 Duncan Volunteer Fire Department captains, Christopher Irving, Carrie Adams, and Gordon Wickerink. Tonight also allows the public to express their appreciation and recognition for the commitment made by each volunteer fire department member. Being on the fire department carries responsibilities and duties that are both social and moral in nature. There is a significant contribution to the protection of persons and property that is made by the firefighters and the others involved in the provision of fire services. The bravery beyond that is expected of the firefighters and the others involved in the normal course of their duties. With the long dedication and bravery is respected and very valued, so thank you very much. When appointed as captain, you take an oath to uphold and execute these duties. This simple ceremony serves to charge the captains with these duties and obligations. The residents of this community have placed their faith in the City of Duncan Fire Department and expect them to carry out their promises and duties. It is also time to recognize the contributions the volunteer fire department captains will make and to convey our respect and appreciation and also acknowledge to your families for supporting you in this role and foregoing time with you as you serve the city. Chief McKinley, captains, and all of the City of Duncan Volunteer Fire Department members, we wish to thank you all for your hard work and dedication and for your strong loyalty and dedication to our city. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm going to ask council to move back into the front, and we're going to present a couple of awards. I'd like to call up Naomi Barclay to present the Perpetual Arts Award for 2018.
Thank you. In 1983, Sheila and Jim Johnson started the Concenti Singers. Both Sheila and Jim were teachers with the Cowichan Valley School District, where they both taught music during the day, and then continued to share their love of music to adults in the Concenti Singers in the evenings. They performed together and collaborated on many concert programs together until Jim passed away in 2012. But Sheila has continued on. After retiring from teaching in the schools, Sheila formed the Cowichan Valley Youth Choir in 2002. The choir has grown and evolved over the years. Both Concenti and CVYC have benefited greatly from Sheila's talents as a pianist, conductor, teacher, composer, and arranger. Her kind, patient, and always inspiring leadership brings out the best in every member. Sheila has fostered a love, a joy for choral singing and music making to hundreds of young people in the Cowichan Valley and adults as well over her decades of musical leadership. It is with great pleasure that I honor her tonight.
Next is for the Perpetual Excellence in Sportsmanship Trophy. And I would like to call Jennifer Lazenby up. Is Jennifer here? Yes, there she is. And she will also be accepting this award on behalf of the winner, but I'll let you announce who that is.
Thank you. Good evening. It is a privilege and honor to introduce Major Hazara Sangha this evening. I have known Hazara for over 20 years and have always known him as a caring, compassionate, community-oriented, health-conscious, generous individual. One of Hazara's passions is his love of running. You can see him often training in the Sherman Road neighborhood. His joy of running is evident with the number of races he annually enters locally, regionally, and provincially. This year was no exception. Attending his 20th trip to the 55-plus BC Games in Kimberley-Cranbrook. During these games, Hazara finally swept the podium with 5 gold medals in all his events: the 10-kilometer, the 5-kilometer, the 1,500-meter, 800-meter, and 400-meter races. Not content just to win, the 86-year-old also set a provincial record in the 400-meter, 85 to 89 division, his time of 2 minutes and 5 seconds, taking 5 seconds off the old standard. In addition, this is just 3 seconds off the world record of 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Hazara ran all 5 of his races in the span of 2.5 days. Although he notes that the events were spread out nicely, his conditioning also allows him to participate in all the races. God is great, he says. My stamina is good. After I ran a race, after 2 hours, I'm ready to run the next one. Most people choose 1 or 2 races over just the 2.5 days. I choose all 5. The games went very well, he says. I was very happy to attend. Everything went tickety-boo. He concedes that he is addicted to running. In addition to attending these 20 consecutive 55-plus games, he also never misses a stop on the Vancouver Island Race Series. Representing the CVAX Roadrunners, he ran in all 8 races in the 2018 series, ranging in distance from the Basin Bay 5 kilometers to the Comox Valley Half Marathon. Again, he set an island record for his age category while running in Courtenay. Hazara completed the 2018 Times Columnist 10K with a time of 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 2 seconds, which is a course division record for his age category. As well, he just completed the 2018 Cowichan Autumn Classic 5 kilometer, placing first in his division. Hazara has said that he runs to stay in shape, and he stays in shape so that he can volunteer with a variety of organizations to give back within Canada. I am lucky to live in this place, says Hazara. He served in who served in the Indian Army before he moved to Canada in 1987. When I die, I will ask, what have I added to it? He is a committed volunteer who has supported a wide range of organizations around the valley, including Literacy Now Cowichan, Cowichan Intercultural Society, the Canadian Cancer Society, Cowichan Region Better at Home, and Volunteer Cowichan. As a devoted member of the community, friend to many, and phenomenal athlete, Hazara is well-deserved to be recognized for his accomplishment by receiving the 2018 Perpetual Trophy for Excellence in Sportsmanship. Hazara is unable to attend this evening tonight as he is out of the country visiting family. So on behalf of Hazara, thank you very much for this honor.
And this year we have 2 Scroll of Honor winners, and I'm going to ask Stuart Pagadwan to come up for the first presentation.
When I am in Syria, I'm in Swalqua, I zap got Kusi out my stall. At an Honatin, I zap got in a Swalqua, Seatla, Tain, Schwamnik. My dear friends, it's a great honor to be here tonight, to be part of history. And I cannot echo what I've heard tonight of goodness, of greatness, of understanding, of that one mind concept. We truly need to be injected with some good things in Cowichan. And to become this politician, you got to ad-lib until you get your speech ready. Take note. It doesn't hurt to learn a bit of Hulkameetnam as well. I did thank my family for being here today. And it's important to address your family first, and your relatives, your elders, our elected officials here today, many of which have spent decades and decades to devote their time to the people of Cowichan. I talk about family because that's the sense I get when I walked in the room today. You could say we're starting a new beginning, but that may be true. But I think things are the way they're supposed to be. And we have some beautiful people up here who are dedicated to that. I am up here to announce the 2018 Scroll of Honor recipient. It is my pleasure to introduce one of this year's Scroll Honor recipients, Judy Hill. Judy's long list of accomplishments include her prolific fundraising as a longtime director on Cowichan District Hospital Foundation, developing and shaping the growth of downtown Duncan through tourism initiatives, her support of competitive sports, and her long-time commitment to the city's Totem Committee, where she has used her expertise in Pacific Northwest Coast native art to provide the city with guidance in managing the world's largest collection of outdoor totem poles. Her volunteer work also includes founding member of Downtown Duncan Business Improvements Area, Chamber of Commerce Board Director, and founding member of the Cowichan Valley Tourism Association. Judy believes in Duncan so firmly, and I'm going to have to do this as well. She believes in Duncan so firmly that she opened her business the same year that Eaton's left and the downtown was a quiet place to be for some months. She never flagged in her belief that this is and will continue to be the best small city in Canada. Judy has acted as an honorary volunteer by supporting the Cowichan Valley Museum by ensuring that the museum benefits from her expertise. Judy even orchestrated the donation of a rare Simon Charlie carving called the Bishop's Pole to the museum, which she is a profound symbol of resilience and survival that helps to tell the story of the residential school experience of Indigenous children. If you really want to see where Judy's love of community comes from, visit her office in the back at Judy Hill's Gallery. You will see the people from all walks of life being supported, appreciated, and acknowledged. Where does her passion for supporting community come from, and why does she help so many? At the core of the incredible tapestry of friends she has woven in her family, of whom she speaks often and fondly, and that has influenced her positive approach of life. What Judy brings to the community as a volunteer is an appreciation of humanity in everyone, a kind heart, and a gratitude for the love that surrounds her. Please welcome one of this year's Scroll of Honor recipients, Judy Hill.
And now to present our final Scroll of Honor winner and our final award for the evening, I'd like to call up Mike McKinley and Danielle Rankin.
Okay, so this is for the other 2018 Scroll of Honor recipient. The family in which this young lady has grown up in is well known for giving back to the community, and the passion lives on in her. She is recognized by words like diligent, perseverant, giving, compassionate, and courageous. These are only a few of the many adjectives that define her. She is a dynamic individual within this community. Because of her skill and dedication to sports growing up, she was pressed into coaching the younger ones and was only too willing to help with her teammates. She volunteers work with local organizations such as the Duncan Junior Baseball Association and the Cowichan Valley Football Association, and has been part of a Dragon Boat team. She has coached and organized or lent a helping hand in a number of charitable tournaments throughout the years, all of which that have benefited the community immensely.
She has also been a committed member of the Duncan Volunteer Fire Department since 2005 and was sworn in as a captain in 2017. She has sacrificed family events, endured many sleepless nights, and is never too far away from her during her dirty weekends on call and protecting persons and property in the course of her duties of the fire department when the siren goes. She is the parks foreman, managing the parks and playing fields for the city of Duncan for the last 10 years, not including the few summer years working as a summer student while attending university. She is dedicated, generous with her time in helping others, respected by young and old, yet she is humbled and uncomfortable that her name is put forward for this award. I call upon Leanne Clausen to come forward.
Do you want to do the honors and call for adjournment?
Move to adjourn.
Second? All those in favor? The 2018 inaugural meeting is now officially adjourned, and before we leave, I would like to ask if you would do a closing prayer to close this night for us again. So thank you, everyone, and please feel free to join us in the other room or stay in this room. And thank you all for coming here tonight, and we look forward to the next 4 years with you.